What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, Melanie? What's up? What's going on, Rob, brother? You guys can hear me good? You can hear me clear? I'm good. I'm good. It's a good night. It's a good night. I can't complain. How's your night? Legalizing marijuana and online poker. I agree. Both of those should be legal. Absolutely. All right, good. As long as you can hear me. Good, good, good. Uh, how's everyone's night going? Better now? That's good. That's good. I had an incredibly long day. Yeah, I was seeing that. What are they? Are they like purposely leaving him out or something like that, or what's going on with that? How's the poll? I heard there was no poll. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing that there is no poll. I think Paget was like going ham on Twitter about it. It's crazy. They they're so afraid of a Yang. Her poke her. None so far this month. Yeah, that's crazy. No polls this month. Beer, weed, and poker. I'm always down. Well, beers are already legal. Some tomorrow will be good. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. He's gonna be higher, a lot higher than people realize. They're waiting last minute, so Yang has less time to organize for debate. Yep, and that debate is drawing near. Yeah, they. I think Yang honestly took them by surprise. Like they were not expecting. You can't tell me that a guy nobody knew 7 minutes ago. Yo, this is getting kind of close. I think we gotta get some tomorrow. Yang has booked his flights to LA for the debate. Yang makes me feel like an American and not a black vote. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think he's scaring the shit out of them. He's ready. And he's gonna kill it. Did you guys see how it was my last video I actually posted? How Joe Biden used Yang's this he just straight up stole tried to steal Yang's swag almost verbatim. No shame. No shame. Handsy Joe, that guy's something else. He's on a rampage this last week, calling people fat, challenging people to push up contests. How can you how can you see a Joe Biden and see an Andrew Yang and be like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do a Biden. Like what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Yang called Trump fat though. I mean, he may be ready, but it will be hard to mobilize supporters, flights, hotels, events, rallies if debate is not 100% on lock. Yeah, he needs that fat. He called himself. But then challenging people to like push-up contests. Here's the thing, like it's real Trumpian, but when Trump does it, it's he's better at it, if that makes any sense. He's just better at it. Biden slid in little sister's DMs. Who's little sister? Whose DMs did Biden slide in? I don't think he knows what a DM is. I'm pretty confident he doesn't. Biden's that guy, man. When did Yang call Trump fat? When did that happen? When did Yang call Trump fat? And like, what's the context? Like, was he just in an interview? See it? That was months ago. I'll research it. He made jokes months ago. Okay. I mean, I can see him like offhandedly like making a joke. I can see it. I can see like if that's the room, like, if like the room is like talking about Trump and they're talking about his weight, I can see him like, because he's a funny guy, but like in context, the way Joe Biden spoke to that guy was like he was angry, like he was upset. Yang implied Trump is out of shape. He is out of shape. I mean, it's true. It's true. They're gonna cheat like they did Stacey Abrams. There's no way Yang shouldn't make every debate. Like, dude did 750K in one day, yo. Okay. Who? Are you talking about like right people on the right, or I didn't even hear about it. What is your thought on Yang wanting to criminalize opioids compared to how they treated the crack epidemic? That's a good question. I gotta think about that. It was after he broke down about the lady's kid being shot. That's when sister saw it. Iowa State Fair when he questioned his fitness. Oh, okay, so it was context. I mean, Yang is in better shape than Trump. I mean, there's 100%. He was asked what was one thing he thought Trump could beat him at, and Yang replied an eating contest, and then he said he was fat. I actually don't think Trump probably eats a lot. I don't think he can eat a lot. I think his metabolism is just gone to shit. Like his metabolism is horrific. We know Yang deserves to be on that stage, especially with almost all of the other candidates. Oh my God. Some Yang gang didn't like him calling Trump fat. I mean, why? I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. Like you need to be able to battle Trump in that field. You need to be able to battle Trump because Trump will say whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants with no second thought. Crack making money at both ends is what that is in drug war BS. That drug war versus going to jail. He doesn't talk about the freedom dividend when he adds the possibility of policies. Money is power. And policies will pass quickly. Yeah. I mean, what is it with the freedom dividend? Everybody make an average of like $6 more. Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like an average of $6 more. That's incredible. That's incredible. How can they expect you to be in polls when there has to be one poll a day from the 2nd and 5th? Yeah, $6, Mike. Yep. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge bump. It's actually better. That's again why I say it's better than the federal jobs guarantee. Not that the federal jobs guarantee is like the most horrible idea ever. I just feel when you have both, the job guarantee and universal basic income. Universal basic income is the way to go. And you can even implement something federal job guarantee-esque later on, or try to implement something like that. But a broke college student, yeah, that would change a bunch of people's lives. And imagine if you have like multiple people in one house, then you'd have multiple people getting that income in. Like, it's literally life changing. It's $2.8 trillion. Look at Bloomberg Power, just 30 million in that. Yeah, Bloomberg spent, I think he spent more than Obama spent, like 32 mil on ads or something like that, and Bloomberg like beat him. He spent like 34 or something like that. So, but what is Bloomberg at in the polls? Is it like 3%? Like, Bloomberg's not going to win. So, a dude was trying to ban big gulps, and he had that, and he apologized for like the stop and frisk. But my man, Grassroots Yang Gang. All right, so whoever's watching, I'm gonna hang out with Russell on New Year's in New Hampshire, and I'm gonna see some Andrew Yang. It's gonna be dope. New Year's Eve. Bloomberg's gonna be at 6%. Holy shit! I didn't even think he was that high. I have heard his American scorecard policy. Yeah. Yeah, Mike. Russell's the one that put me over the edge, because before that I was Bernie. I was like neck and neck Bernie Andrew. And then I had a big interview with Russell, and that put me over the edge. He was just so passionate. Bloomberg is popular in New York City. I don't understand why. Like, I've heard I've heard some of the things he likes, and it's just like horrible. Doesn't he want to not legalize weed? I'm pretty sure he's against marijuana. Yo, Yang bought his tickets ahead of time. He's ready. He's ready. I get the emails from them, and I didn't see anything about him making it, to be honest. I did an online poll. He was a good baiter. He was a good mayor. I can see that. I mean, like, yeah, like, he wasn't a horrible mayor, but if you're running for president, I got to look at you in a whole different kind of light. If Yang wins pre-UBI, his reelection will be insane. It should believe he's unstoppable. Isn't he supposed to be talking to Obama next month or something like that? Which, don't even get me started on Obama. I have like some good things and bad things to say about Obama. Yang said he made it on interviews on Twitter. I hope so. I genuinely hope so. He had like one more poll he had to like hit, right? Wasn't that it? Stop and frisk was horrible, Russell. That stop and frisk, wasn't it like 99% was stop and frisk was like turned up with nothing? Yeah, if Yang was the nominee, he'd win in a landslide. I keep telling people it's the primaries that are the most difficult thing for him to get through. Obama interview in January. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a segment on that. That's gonna be incredible for Andrew Yang. That'll be incredible, depending on what comes from it. Yeah, Yang meeting with Obama, that's a game changer. That's a game changer. In January. That's going to be dope. Bloomberg was seen as to me because he was my city's mayor. However, after learning what he did to black and brown communities in my sociology class, he's canceled for me. Yeah, like he just, think about it. He just now apologized, what is it, a week ago, for stop and frisk. Just now. If Bloomberg wasn't running for president, he actually used to double down on defending stop and frisk. But now you're running for president. Now you apologize, and I should just forgive you. And he's literally trying to buy his way into the presidency. It's crazy. When I say it's a game changer, I mean for the brown vote. If you look at it right now on Biden's side, I couldn't tell you why. It's got to be because of the Obama nostalgia. And younger African Americans are actually a lot with Bernie. So that's got to, he needs to, get into that, to cut into that. Loomer said that poor people need to be taxed more because they are not smart enough to make good life choices. Yes, I saw that. Miss South Africa is the next Miss Universe. That's dope. The safer bet. But like, what does that mean? Like, safe how? Like, this is a safer bet in what way? Like, I don't get how they're like safer in what way to lose to Trump. Because I don't think, I'm not going to say Biden can't win against Trump, but I can say there's a high possibility Trump also defeat Joe Biden. Like, Biden doesn't energize the base. So I don't like when I get what you mean. Like, people say, oh, he's a safer bet, but like, I don't understand why they think he's safer. What about him makes him safer? Yang Cashier told me yesterday her husband like Bloomberg because he calls Trump a fraud. Who doesn't? Yeah, nowhere near Yang Gang's level of enthusiasm. Yeah, Melanie, nothing will change. Like, Biden is a bunch of the same. It's just, and he's not endorsed by Biden. Obama didn't even want Biden to run. He told Biden, like, Joe, man, you don't got to do this, Joe. You don't got to do this. Nah, thank you, brother. Thank you for your work. For real. New Year's Eve is going to be dope. Biden can't fix it. Biden doesn't intend on fixing anything. Biden just wants to be president so Biden can be president. Like, when I watch him and I listen to him, like, I don't see him saying anything that's like positive for the future or for me to even look forward to. Like, he's one of those candidates that talk about stuff we can't do. We can't do this. We can't do that. Media is brainwashing you. The left media wants Trump to win. They get more viewership having Trump to trash talk too. Looks Fox rating during Obama. I wouldn't put that past them. Yeah, African Americans need to trust and trust Yang. He needs to cut a swath through that Joe Biden support and that Bernie support with African Americans. He just wants to be the blue president. Exactly. He just wants to be president. Joe Biden doesn't care about like my future. He doesn't care like about a lot of the kids' futures. He just wants to be president of the United States. He wanted that so bad. Oh, there's a boycott to mess up their stats. Yeah, don't miss that. New Year's Eve live stream, Andrew Yang countdown. That's going to be dope. That's going to for president 3 times, 2 times campaigning with Obama. Exactly. They're familiar with him. That's why I call him the default vote. The default vote. Listen, and somebody had asked me this in the comment section a while ago. I speak to African Americans all the time about who they're going to want to vote for. And I kid you not, majority of them say, Biden, I guess. And when I ask them why, they don't have a solid answer. They never have a solid answer. Ever. And I asked them, well, what about his policies, make you want to vote for him? They never have a solid answer. There's a lot of black people with Bernie Sanders. They're just the younger generation. If you're African American and you think, I'm going to tell you the difference between pandering. When you're Hillary Clinton and you pull out a bottle of hot sauce on TV and ask if African Americans are voting for you, that's pandering. When you're Bernie Sanders and you march on Washington and get arrested with African Americans fighting for their rights, that's not pandering. That's fighting for change. So if they're African American and they think that's pandering, I don't know. I don't know what to tell them. That's ridiculous. Just gotta stop watching Trump media later. If Obama wants to save any face and not have Trump laugh in his face again, he's the only candidate who can definitely beat Trump. I think Obama would have a great. I don't think he's going to endorse anybody during this primary right now, but if Andrew got through, I think he would. He wouldn't be hesitant at all to endorse Andrew Yang. In my opinion, Yang is a safe bet. Yang is a safe bet. That's just my opinion. African American just gonna keep their votes in their pockets with their hands, but not that multi-trillion dollars rate that they had no part of. Oh, you're talking about reparations? That's not happening. Reparations isn't happening. I don't understand why that's something why they keep harping on that. It's just not. It's not happening. I haven't heard any candidate yet say like, this is how we will do reparations. No candidate can say it because they don't know how they would implement it. They don't know. So, like they lie and say like baby bond, something like that. I don't know. That's why he ain't getting. We need to like get the word out there. We got to get the word out there. If we're introduced to him that didn't know him prior, they like that Yang Gang. I mean, that's not the only reason he can pull black votes, but it definitely is. It definitely is part of it. Nina, come on now. Yeah, Yang is not super crazy radical, right? But it's still populist and has progressive enough policies that it's like safe bet. And he knows how to play to a crowd. He's quick off the cuff. Like he'd have no problem with Trump on stage. Send this for someone with zero name recognition media. Yang is a killer. Again, like you said, Mike, nobody knew who Yang was 7 minutes ago. Nobody in mainstream media came out and said, yo, this guy Yang, he's about to crush it. Watch. Nobody took him serious. And now he's beat years, politician. Kamala Harris is gone. Yang's still in here. They got to be like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? When the cameras are off, you know they got to be like, yo, what the fuck is going on with this Yang guy? You know they got to be like, we got to get rid of this Yang guy. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. Reparations isn't going to happen anytime soon. And I don't think any candidate should run on reparations unless they have a way to implement it and tell us in our face, the American people, how they're implementing it. Because when they ask about reparations, they come up with like bullshit ways to implement it. Money is power to push other policies. That's true. Yeah, going like what Pete Buttigieg did. Didn't Pete Buttigieg go to like a black church and just sit there? Like Bernie marching with people on Washington isn't pandering. That's just factual. And if he tells you that, it's not because he's pandering, because he wants you to know he cares. Buttigieg to the black church and like, take this picture. Let me look here, looking all solemnly. Like that's pandering. Like faking black support, what he did, is pandering. That's pandering. Like going to a black church shouldn't get you like a black vote. Like honestly, what black people should be are policies. Like how is this going to better my life and my way of living? Like looking for somebody to cut that check for reparations. That's ridiculous. A lot of white folk got 1% blood during Jim Crow DNA testing. Yeah, Pete needs to stop. Pete is a copycat, and he needs to stop. Like Pete Buttigieg, I couldn't. If somebody were asked me like, "What do you think, Pete Buttigieg?" I couldn't tell you because I think he's a robot. The closest I've seen to him like actually looking and acting human is when he was going back and forth with Tulsi, and she was like picking away at him. He was getting tight. So let's talk about that real quick. That whipped cream thing, that was like real like fraternity, frat brotherish. You know what I mean? And there were some people that were like getting on him hard about it. Pause. And then there were some people that, you know, found it humorous. I want Pete to film him trying to go to the black church in the South Bend. Yeah, please film that. I'd love to see that. Russia is pushing the black reparations angle to divide us. I wouldn't put it past them. But you know what? It's also up to African Americans to be like, wait, that's not important right now. Like, my health care is important right now. Healthcare affects especially African American women the most. Like, healthcare is incredibly important. If African Americans want to step up, they want to leg up. Do you know how much universal basic income would help them? Get to the reparations talk. Obama didn't give you reparations. So what makes you think other people are going to give you reparations? Focus on, there's so many good policies right now that they need to be invested in. The whipped cream thing is just a tradition. You do in New Hampshire. Yeah. I know. But like, people were really trying to spin it like they were really trying to like make Yang look crazy. Exactly. You have to create, you know, a mindset of abundance where people will be willing to work on climate change. Same thing with reparations. No. Yeah, that whipped cream thing was like 2 days. Tulsi versus Pete, top 3. But they hate Tulsi Gabbard. They did everything in their power to keep her down. They hate her with a passion. They hate her. They don't hate Andrew. They like Andrew Yang. They just don't want to become president. They like him around. If you've noticed, nobody said anything bad about Andrew Yang. Nobody said anything crazy negative like about Andrew Yang. Nobody's come at him crazy. They like Andrew Yang. They just don't want him to become president. They hate Tulsi Gabbard. They try to ignore Yang. They try to smear Tulsi. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. Just to let you know, that is my first super chat. Andrew Yang's going to be on the back of H3H3. I got to watch that. I love H3H3. Because though I talk politics, at the end of the day, I'm a YouTube creator. You should check Hillary on Howard Stern, Bastion Bernie. Great interview. But, okay, do you guys remember, I'm 34 years old. Do you remember back in the day, I probably shouldn't have been watching Howard Stern. Baba Booey. Howard Stern was like the outsider rebel, saying like the cringiest, like craziest stuff, right? He was like on her, he was, pardon my French, he was on her dick in that interview. It was like, it was hard to watch. And I was like, is this the same Howard Stern? And then Hillary, come on. I hope when and if Yang becomes the nominee, Hillary jumps on his side quick. Don't wait, because she got mad that Bernie he endorsed her at all. There was a lose-lose situation for him, no matter what. So it's too late for the reparations. You were all alive. Yeah, but Patricia Lynn, when I tell black people like it's too late for reparations, they immediately get defensive. Immediately. They don't want to hear that. Several people said the whipped cream thing was, yeah, Cornelius, it's a tradition. That's why I didn't like even post it or cover it or anything. I was like, all right, I'm not even gonna say anything about this. She is a cringy human. She's a vibe. Do you know Bernie, after he endorsed her, he went to like, I want to say like 37 states back to back or something like that, like just endorsing her. And it wasn't enough. It would never be enough for her. She blames everybody but herself. After watching the 13th on Netflix, I was down for reparations. Black people in America are still treated like slaves and wage slaves. I'm not saying I'm not down for reparations. I'm just saying I don't see it happening. I really don't. And this is from me who I am completely for progressive policies and making change and fighting, but I do not see reparations happening. Not with the way things are right now. When you ask what do you want for reparations, no one knows there. No one exactly. There is nobody's. I mean Williamson's been talking about it, but there's nobody saying like, oh yeah, $1,000 a month for black people because of reparations or something like that. Like, and then like who is considered African American? Like what if you have a black father and a white mother? What are you going to get half the check? How are you going to determine? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a really complex subject. And then you're also putting a price, you're putting a number on what they went through. So, like, what if this group over here is like, yeah, that number works. But then another majority of African Americans is like, nah, that's not enough. We want this one. It's like, it's so deep. It's so deep. And it's like a trick question. It's like a gotcha question. But when you tell an African American person like, yeah, I don't think reparations is happening anytime soon, they think you're flaking out or they think you're not pushing for it. It's not the case. It just needs to be really thought out over a long period of time. It would really trigger the KKK into doing violent shit. You know, the KKK said they don't even have a faction in Chicago because African Americans are killing each other on such a high rate in Chicago. They don't even have a faction over there. They don't even bother going to Chicago because they're literally killing each other over streets they don't own. Yang said he wants to have a cabinet to discuss. People made a cut. I think it's Laura. Yang should do that for sure. He should have a cabinet to discuss and have it made up of people of color and really listen to what they have. Drew 214. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. The DNC is hoping to suppress Yang into VP or admin role. We can win. No, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, they want him in the VP role. And you know what? If Yang became VP, if somebody had Yang as their VP, they would undoubtedly get support from a large amount of Yang gang. I know there's still a lot of Yang that said it's Yang or bust, but they would still get a lot of support. I don't want him as VP. I want him as the president. But they can do it in the form of rebuilding neighborhoods and such. All right, Sass, let me say this. And this is the God's honest truth. It's the mentality. If I were to go into the hood right now, right? If I were to go into the hood and rebuild everything from scratch, the schools, YMCAs, houses, you name it, and then leave and then come back, they're going to be up again. They're going to be messed up again. It's the mentality and it's the people you're around. There was a study done, right? There was this kid maybe he's from New York, and he went to like a really like what they would equate as a bad school, right? He was getting bad grades. He was an African-American kid. He went into a program. So the first year he was in this high school, he did horrible. He went with a family in a much better neighborhood, like miles and miles away, and went to a predominantly Caucasian school. He went there for 2 years. Everything skyrocketed. His grades skyrocketed. Everything went up. Everything went up. The program was over after 2 years. He went back to the hood. Guess what happened? His grade back down. So that shows in here that kid could do what he wanted to do. That kid could do it, but his environment was so toxic. Find records, invest more. It definitely invests more in the neighborhoods and give a lot more opportunity to people. That $1,000 a month. Some people really don't understand what an extra $12,000 a year will do for you. They're really overlooking that. Junior, I saw how they suppressed the black vote. I am fully aware, and they still want to do it to this day. VP or Tulsi was Yang's VP, that would be incredible. Because I'll be honest, I don't think Bernie got 8 years in him as a president. So I could see him as Yang's VP or Tulsi. Tulsi for sure. She's no joke. Mentality has to change. Exactly. Perspective rules your life. You know what I mean? But there are some hoods, there are some places you go where if you don't conform to what they want, you might get beat up every day. You not be able to. A lot of people end up as products of their environment. If I go and move to a street between two different hoods, either I'm going to stay in the house all day, right? Go to school, come home, or you're going to adapt. They're going to make you adapt. It's really shitty. I live in a motel. When you've been in my situation, you know that a motel was the last safe haven before sleeping in the dirt. Venge, you're not lying. I hired a girl at my job. This is like a couple years ago. I hired her. She was living in her car. And when you're in that situation, right? When you live in a car, it's hard to get work. It really is. Because obviously you don't have like a crazy nice wardrobe. And like she really needed a helping hand. So I hired her until she got back on her feet. And now she's doing great. She works like Ulta Beauty now. But yeah, motel, that's like one step before. But most of America is like one step away from being homeless. Most of America. What is it, like 70% of people don't have like backup money in case something happens to the car? And it's not because we're not working full time. Been busting my ass picking up trash in the neighborhood over the past weeks, aside from some dude. No one cares. Yeah, no one's picking up. Kenju, no one's going out there picking up trash. Like it's a mentality thing. You gotta want it. And isn't that fucked up, Deborah, that there has to be a nice part? Like, why can't it just be that? Why can't it all just be nice? People don't understand that that is 1,000 in capital. Your net worth goes up instantly. Yeah. Yes, you become worth more. You're right, Drew. Yeah, she makes from what I understand, she makes money at Ulta now. For sure. She was with me for about like a year and some change until she got back on her feet. Like, no lie, she would come in and like we have like a like sink kind of area. It's almost like a shower part. And like that's where she would like shower there and everything. It was a sad situation. And the most I could do for her was give her a job. There's enough technology now that with AI from my N words to build a. Yeah, but there's how many like future scientists are probably in these hoods. How many kids with like so much potential are in these hoods? And they just need that opportunity to express. You need the Seahawks to lose to the Niners. That's not happening. That's not happening. I don't see Russell losing to the Niners. I hope you don't got money on the game. How do we change that mindset of the hood? How do we fix up the Black community? I think one of the things, and it's just minuscule, but it goes a long way, is like positive reinforcement, especially with the youth, the minorities. Like, positive reinforcement goes a long way. The mentality in the schools need to change, and honestly, a lot of it is at home. I don't have the answer as far as the home part goes. I don't, and I really don't want the government all up behind people's doors either. It's weird. So, I mean, the schools programs to reach out, pay teachers more, pay teachers better, pay teachers more, and I think they'll be more into their work because teachers are vastly underpaid. Exactly, Patricia Lynn, they get bullied or forced to join a gang. I know people that's happened to, because just because of where their mom or dad happened to move to, and they are now in between these two gangs. We're going to beat you up every day, or you're going to join one of us, and you're probably going to join one of them for protection, and you might not be alive 2 years later, all because you simply wanted to survive. For progressive learning, people make 150K per year. It's so hard for them to understand that 112K means to an average person. Yeah, they don't get it, because that's like change to them. When you're making 150K, that's like 12K. That 12K is like not that big of a difference. You're right, Kenji. They feel like that people outside of the hood don't care about them, and they feel like the hood don't care about them, and they feel like they don't have a future. High holistic hottie. Good parenting would help. Good parenting would help, right? Like you really need good parenting, and that's making it easier for the parent. If there was a lot less stress on the parents' shoulders, that would reflect onto the children as well. And yes, Mike, positive support every step of the way, lowering financial stress. When you take the burden off, I think you'll start to see a lot more betterment in the households. Give opportunities to the black communities. Even in positive reinforcement, even in work. Like if you give positive reinforcement to your workers, I feel like it releases endorphins, and they keep wanting that positive reinforcement, so they will work harder to get that praise. And I think it's the same thing in school. If the teacher gives positive reinforcement, the student likes that. They want they want to replicate that scenario, and they will do what needs to be done to receive that again. He has the big plans to bring Hood into the Yang campaign. You should hook up with him. I'm gonna look him up then and see what he has to say, because a lot of African Americans there's a disconnect with politics right now. And I think it would be crazy if Yang put schooling in one of his ads. So I think that gets overlooked a lot. One of the ways to get rid of the gangs is to legalize drugs. I mean that would hurt them, the whole financial aspect of it, 100%. The gangs run on drugs, so decriminalize drugs. That would put a financial strain on them for sure. Good parenting's hard when both parents work 12 hours a day. Exactly. There used to be a time when one parent could work, the other could stay home, take care of the kids, and that parent would work 40 hours, probably a factory job. They'd be able to get a house, they'd have a car, right? And it would be a decent sized house. That was called the middle class. We all remember the middle class. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. So now to even like have a decent living, both parents need to be working. Both parents need to be working. And here's one of the issues. I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me, but we are still procreating. We're still having children, and we're having babies, and we're barely able to take care of ourselves. And now we've just added another mouth. It's so hard. It's like a revolving door. There needs to be like a burden lifted off of people. There has to be. There's got to be a breaking point. Crime would go down. If you gave me $1,000 a month, my life would change drastically. I can't even tell you how much. It would change drastically. And I'm a manager, and I work 40 hours a week, and $1,000 would change everything drastically. Drastically. Yimby Arts. So I actually just subscribed to him. He subscribed to my channel too, like 2 or 3 days ago. I was checking out his videos. He had covered me a little bit with that whole illustrated sound shit. I like his channel. He needs more subs, to be honest. Absolutely. Good old Al Capone. College Humor did a skit about that. I remember College Humor. College Humor was dope. That was some years ago. There's like three or four skits I go back and watch from College Humor. They're like the quality is so trash too because it was so long ago, but they're still funny to this day. Our grandparents worked part-time jobs, put them through college. I mean, there's a skit about it, but it's true. It's true. You can't do that now. Legit. Spider-Man Cup, favorite hero. If you haven't noticed, Spidey. I lived in the 6-block free zone between the Bloods and the Crips. They were nice boys with the territory. So I lived, when I was younger, I lived between the Solids and the Kings. They were a Latin gang. And I was African American, obviously. So they didn't like bother me or harass me or ask me to join or anything. But I got to see what was going on. And I had like friends who were obviously they were older than me. And I had friends who were around my age at the time, and they were forced to end up joining one of these gangs. I didn't have to because I was black. But when I say forced, I mean like you were gonna end up joining those gangs. But the thing, and here's the weird part. Both gangs, always nice to me. Always nice to me. Never had any issue. If Google was a human, 2 parents, $1,000 a month, that'd make a massive difference. Hell, if you're sleeping on the streets and you got a friend or two, that's a motel plus food. Yeah. Yes. A homeless person going to a motel, they take that any day living on a fucking bench. Yeah, Spidey. That's my favorite hero. I used to have a ton of comic books. I still have some, but I had a ton of comic books. And back then, like my mom had no sense of value when I was a kid, and she threw out a whole bunch of them. And I still tell her to this day, like, you know how much money you probably threw out? You just threw out, like she threw out, like I came home from school one day and like the comics were just thrown out. Like, oh man, I still remind her to this day. Imagine the time back when families could rely on one income. That was definitely the case for white families. That was really the case for black homes. Well, black people have, they've always had a burden on them. Always. There's always been another layer of burden on them. Always. That's why them getting this $1,000 a month would help them immensely, because that burden's still there. The contraception distribution in the U.S. states show that Americans have the most pregnancies and abortions at little prevention methods given cheaply or free. Can't you go to like a Planned Parenthood and get like just condoms for free? I'm pretty sure you can like go in there and just like scoop up condoms. I don't think the schools talk about prevention methods enough or anything like that. I really don't think they do. Motel foods and maid service. Motel foods and maid service is going to be great. We can eradicate poverty in the United States 2021. Yeah, I mean, people really, when you look at it at the surface, like, oh, it's $1,000. The $1,000 is supposed to be added on to what we're already doing. It's not just supposed to be the $1,000 and that's it. It's supposed to be added on to what we're already doing. And for homeless people, that $1,000 means so much more. I've had more positive interactions with police officers than negative. But I've had more positive interactions with the police than negative. But the negatives were, I mean, they were really negative. Yeah, I think they're retraining for police officers. Listen, 4 of my friends just went to become cops. 3 of them made it. The other didn't because he failed the polygraph. And I know those guys for years. I think one of the issues is, how are they going to be 5 years from now? They're still going to be the same friends that I knew for years. It starts to become not a black and brown issue or a white issue, becomes a blue issue because they look at each other like brothers, and they need to hold their other officers accountable for their actions. That's the solution. When they hold other officers accountable for their actions, that will fix things. Taught my kids to read with Spidey, X-Men, and Superman. Love some Spidey, love some X-Men, and I like Superman. I'm not like Batman beating up Superman. Like, stop it. Go somewhere else with that. People have free everything and some do not do abortions. Yeah. Yeah. Some people will just keep procreating regardless. We're getting 1K. We got all these people donating to Andrew Yang. What are we going to do to stop all this energy? Are we going to put this money together? Let's get them in there. And people came over here with a burden on them too. In less than 2 generations, they have created more wealth. Boat people? What is boat people? Keep the same energy. You got to keep the same energy. Same here about the police. Yes, that is the way to eradicate all this bullshit. If they hold each other accountable, because they know that it's blue no matter what, and they're gonna, cover each other's asses. That's why it gets so bad. But if they know that, because at the end of the day, people are people. There's good people and there's bad people. But if they know they're going to be held accountable by their partners or by other police officers, you won't see it as flagrant as it is now. I've had cops straight up tell me who's going to make that. Something like that happened to me one time. They were going to do it. I legit have a story about that I could tell you if you guys want to hear it. But yeah, something like that happened to me. $1,000 with the CA7 forms every month, 3 months without being told to spend it. Can't save, must have $2,000 in your account. Wow, I didn't know that. For teenagers in economically similar countries, the schools talk about prevention methods. Plus, parents are alerted by the clinics or schools if the teens take lack of confidentiality in the U.S. Yeah, it's a U.S. thing, and prevention methods needs to be talked about a lot more. When I was in school, I remember when I was in school, like, they didn't talk about that. They talked about how you make a baby, and they talked about, what this is and what that is and what body parts are, but they never talked about prevention methods, ever. Not once. Start businesses together the same way we are donating to Yang, donate to businesses. Yeah, I agree. Support small businesses and build that up and support each other. I absolutely agree. Yeah, that like Junior was saying, Yang gets in, he's president, $1,000 a month implement. We gotta keep the same energy for Yang, like when we were hungry for Yang to get in there. For sure. 100%. 100%. Yeah. He's got to get that black vote. And I made a video on it, and he's got to call people out. Yang's got to call people out. Like, how come nobody called Pete out at that last debate about like faking like the black support? Like, nobody mentioned a word. You got to call stuff out like that. You can't let a debate pass and not mention that, because people who aren't politically savvy, people who are politically inept, don't know about that. But when you mention it at the debate, right? Even if Pete is trying to come up with a defense, do you know what they're going to do afterwards? They're going to look that shit up, and they're going to see that it was full of shit. There's a recent experiment of UBI in Kenya that came out. Apparently, it boosted the economy enormously. Yes. Do you know how much? Okay. Stress. Stress. Stress is a killer. Do you know if you know that your rent is going to get paid that month, no matter what, how much stress that would take off of you? If you know, yo, next month my rent is going to be paid, like it's not even a thing, because you know you're getting $1,000 a month, so you're going to be able to pay your rent. You're going to have money to buy food, right? You're going to have money to get your car fixed if you need it fixed. Like it's man, oh man. Yang should go after Pete because Pete's stealing his swag. I mean, Biden just tried it recently, but Pete is stealing his swag, and Yang should. When I say go after Pete, I don't mean like be vicious or be an a-hole, but call him out on his BS. And Pete is not more witty than Yang. He's really not. I think he should call people out. "2020 resolution calling motherfuckers out." Yeah. And you did this, and you're a liar. And I heard what you said. And why are the moderators talking about this? They'd hate my guts. They'd hate my guts. They'd hate my guts. I got our yearbook teacher holding an IUD, and we tried to caption it as such. Oh my God, do you think we're telling them for teaching us? You got that in a yearbook? How did you? Who took that picture? Yeah, John, stress is a killer. Stress is a killer. And I was talking to a coworker of mine today, and like she was crazy stressed. She was crazy stressed because she's been working, and like she's engaged, and her future husband got hurt, right? And so he was out of work for a little while, and she's gonna have to carry like the next month herself, and she doesn't know if she's gonna have enough because they pool their money together. So she's literally at work stressing. She's stressing. $1,000 a month, they'd both be getting it, and she wouldn't be stressing. Instead, the conversation would be like, this idiot got hit in the head again. Like, he needs to rest up. Oh, what a doofus. But instead, she's like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? Like, are they gonna allow for extra hours? Like, blah, 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 blah. It's crazy. I do like Yang's style of being friendly. He was friendly to Kamala Harris after she dropped out, and she laughed at him. He was friendly to Kamala Harris. That's why I dropped the last video I dropped about Joe Biden versus Andrew Yang. Joe Biden calling people fat, challenge you to a push-up contest. Yang, that just wouldn't happen. Like, that's not in his character. And that's why I was pointing out, key fundamental differences between them, policy aside. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't call. Just like Yang can call out Trump on his bullshit, you still need to be able to call out the other Democrats on their BS. I understand you guys are Team Blue, but just like you can call out Trump, you need to be able to call them out. I do like Yang style debating, though. Look for the common ground with his opponents first before explaining is even better. It's much more convincing. You're right. Except that time he was about to DDT Elizabeth Warren. That face he made when she like went at him, he was not. I don't think I've ever seen Yang look like in the smoking area. What was the first female principal doing with you guys in the smoking area? Smoking, or did she catch you guys smoking? Yeah. He's got a style that's really nice about it. That's why nobody really goes at Yang. Kill him with kindness. Okay, but let me ask you this. What about when he's up against Trump? Are you saying the same thing? Kill him with kindness? You are 100% right about this, but you should also consider that's not going to work on Trump. You know what I mean? So he's going to eventually, at some point, he's going to have to be more aggressive. When he's going against the Republicans, he's going to have to. It works in the debate right now in the Democratic best Yangin story. Oh God, it wasn't anything like crazy. I was actually in the barber shop, and there was a guy he was talking about his vote doesn't count, votes don't count. And I literally sat there and spoke with him after I got my cut and everything for 2 hours talking about politics and Andrew Yang and everything. And at the end of the day, he said he was, for Andrew Yang, and then sent me a text message later on showing me that he donated to Andrew Yang. So that's probably my best Yang story. And he was African American. He went from my vote doesn't count, I'm not gonna bother voting, to siding with Andrew Yang. Yang should use facts and data on Trump. Does that work though? Does that work? When do I don't know, man. He's an anomaly. Does it work? You can be mean if you're funny. Yeah, if you're mean, but you do it in a comedic way, it flies over much easier. Like when they were getting at Trump before, and they're like, "You said this and that about women, and you called women this and that, right?" And they were trying to get on Trump, and he goes, "I was talking about Rosie O'Donnell," and the room lost it. They lost it laughing, and then they forgot that he said a whole bunch of mean shit because it was funny. He's got some zingers saved for Trump. Good. He needs those zingers. You gotta play to the crowd. You gotta be quick on your feet. You've got to be witty. If he can implement the data and facts and be funny and witty at the same time, Trump's done with. He's got to push back. Got to. Because Trump will literally make stuff up. Like Yang will use facts and data, and Trump will just make up. Look, it's true. It's true. It's true. I did 5,000 of it. It's true. 100%. It's true. It's facts. It's true. That sounds amazing. Good night, Deborah. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I really do. He knows how to bring the fire. I've seen him angry talking about how unions can stop losing if they had UBI. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get angry. Passionate. Yep. Trump is loud and says stupid things. Yang is facts and data logic. There may be people can tell. Do you think so though? I don't know if I believe that. What's going on, Yang Daily? I'm going to tell you why. Sass. I did a social experiment, right? Because a lot of people on my channel didn't believe it, or they didn't want to acknowledge the fact that Michelle Obama, right? I don't even want to bring her up this is just to talk about, the American people. I said she could sweep right now, like if she were to join, right? And obviously, most of the Yang Gang said that's not true, and that's not what the people want, et cetera, et cetera. But I spoke to 56 people. That's not a large amount of people, but 56 people. Every single one of them said they vote for Michelle Obama. Every single one of them. She's not. And the way I worded it was, if Michelle Obama came in and she ran on defeat Trump, would you vote for Michelle Obama over the other candidates? Every single one said yes. So facts and logic and data are important to a large variety of people, but people also vote based off of emotion, unfortunately. Some people vote based off of gender. Some people vote based off of race. Some people just vote based off of emotion. It's really weird. And look at some of the people, their ones and twos. Like Kyle Kalinske was talking about a guy who, like, his number one was Bernie Sanders, but his number two was Pete Buttigieg. What? Like, that doesn't even make sense. It's just weird. Like, people, I don't know, people are weird sometimes. Backhanded compliments. Yeah, like just witty remarks. Hit them with facts and data, but make it funny. You're right. Because when Trump ran, he ran as a populist. He ran as a populist. He ran and he offered. You're right. It was all slogans, right? But he had people convinced that he was going to do the things that Yang will actually do. He convinced people. He went to the Rust Belt talking about saving jobs and a whole bunch of other stuff. He ran as a populist, and they got doofed. Yeah, they don't believe in facts and data. Look at it. When Trump ran, people ignored the facts and the data. They ignored everything about him. If you were to look at the facts and the data, you'd be like, oh, this guy's out of his mind. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he would go on and say one thing in a news interview and then go on the next day in a news interview and say the complete opposite and then deny he said it in the other interview. But then there's still a large subset of people he needs to get that don't care about facts and data. There are a large amount of people. When I was on the Nerds for Yang interview with Paget, right? Me and Tom looked at a couple of ads, right? And me and Tom, we liked, a certain amount of ads, but Paget liked the more emotional ad. She liked it had nothing to do with facts and data. She goes, I wanted to pull at my heartstrings. So like some people like that emotional stuff. I don't know. I like facts and data and I like policy, but there's some people I can talk to them about policy and they don't care for some reason. His democracy dollar idea will actually drain the swamp. I 100% agree. Imagine Yang going on a rant talking about how Trump is so great because the Pope endorsed him, that he's the chosen one, saying it was sarcasm would be so funny. That might be over the top, Drew. That might be a little much. I don't know. Trump was talking about the forgotten man. He was talking about job loss and automation. He ran as a populist. Until this day, I still have that argument with people like about Trump, because some people think Trump did save jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he ran versus the way he governed, completely opposite. He went to the Rust Belt. Hillary Clinton didn't care about the Rust Belt. She didn't care about the factory workers and the miners and people like that. Trump went there multiple times. That's why Trump won. If you look at why Trump won and where he won, it's because of how he ran. We got to talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of socialist type peeps keep trying to claim Yang as a Trojan horse because they think these people do the ending other benefit. It doesn't end other benefits, though. It drives me nuts. If they're talking about what's going on, Hyde, Yang, Yang's not ending the other benefits. If you want to keep the benefit, if you want to keep your SSI, or if you want to keep SNAP or food stamps, keep it. Keep it. Nobody's forcing you to go get universal basic income for that. But I covered it on my channel. The average amount of SNAP, right, that a family gets is like $250. So if you want that $250 over the $1,000, then by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But yeah, if they're saying that it ends the other benefits, that's a smear. Trump is an anomaly. He's not your average. He said on, I can shoot someone dead in the street in Fifth Ave and you'd still vote for me. You right? Like he's at rallies talking about, why do they cover these people's heads when you're putting them in the car? Like they block their head. Let them hit their head. Who cares? Let them hit their head. Like, can you imagine if like Obama was like, "Who cares? Don't block them. Just let them hit their head." Can you imagine if Obama said, "I can shoot someone in Detroit and you guys will still vote for me," or I can shoot someone in Chicago, you guys will still vote for me? Family of 4 in Hawaii gets 1,189. That's a family of 4 people, though. It should be a lot more than that. Yang wants to give one person $1,000 a month. A family of 4 gets $1,100. What's going on, Alyssa? Now I know who you are. Gotcha. The latest smear is the whipped cream. I just blocked them because they repost it over and over again. Mostly Bernie supporters and the far left doing it. Yeah, I saw that. That's why I didn't cover it or talk about it or anything. But like we were saying earlier, it's tradition to do that over there. But it's so why it's so weird because Bernie supporters and Yang supporters originally were in the same pool. So I don't Bernie wouldn't act that way to somebody, and Yang wouldn't act that way to Bernie. So I don't know why the supporters are that way. It's really fucking weird to me. Like the person you want to be in the White House doesn't act this way. Why are you? You're wearing their gear. You're wearing Bernie shirts. You're wearing Bernie hats. You're doing this. Feel the burn. You want to represent Bernie. Does Bernie act that way? Like I don't. It's fucking weird. It's Joseph. It's not all Bernie supporters. It's not. I used to be a Bernie supporter. I switched over to Andrew Yang. I never acted that way. It's definitely a subset of people acting like this, causing division. Be careful driving, Hyde. Food stamps do not last forever. And then like the food stamps, like that safety net is like for temporary. It's like a temporary, it's supposed to be a temporary thing. Bernie is the leader. He has to talk to his supporters. But Drew, by that logic, that means Yang has to talk to his supporters. I don't know if you know, I went through a whole thing of issues like that by that logic. It's not going to happen. I can't hold Bernie accountable for his supporters, and I can't hold Yang accountable for his supporters. I just can't do it. Like if I go and do something like stupid right now, like that's not for Yang to, you know what I mean? It's not on him. Because Yang was one of the biggest threats to Bernie base, in my opinion. He's a threat. 90% Bernie supporters? Nah, no way. No way. It used to be Bernie supporters too, Yang Daily. No, it's definitely not 90%. It's the interactions you've had with them, I guess. It's all anecdotal, but again, like I said, I used to be a Bernie supporter, and I personally don't know any of them that act that way. I've seen it and I've heard it, but I think that it's like a fringe on of them. And then a lot of Bernie supporters are jaded. They're really jaded. Really jaded. I see Yang supporters and Bernie supporters butting heads. I really don't see Yang supporters going after Pete. Actually, I did like a Pete. It's better. I did like most Yang gang was like, we got to drop this thing with Pete. You know, we can't do this with Pete. It needs to be humanity first. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Bernie doesn't have 8 years in him like to run as president. First of all, when you become president, it ages you immensely. So if you think of how old Bernie is right now, and then you become president, I Don't think he can make it. I don't think he can govern. He'd be lucky if he can govern 4 years, let alone 8. When you go in there and you come out, you're aged so much. Tim Black and Humanist Report, I mean, they're idiots. I'm not a fan of Tim Black for sure. I've liked some of Humanist Report segments. Left. To him, it's Bernie or bust. Like, and anybody else in his way can go kick rocks. Exactly, Mike. Bernie supporters are jaded. You got to understand, their candidate was fucked over, literally screwed out of that election. So now anybody, anything in their way, they're going to try to plow polls 1 and 2. Say it's between, I don't know, him and Biden, and then they literally cheat Yang out of it. You don't gotta tell me you guys wouldn't be jaded. You'd be jaded. You'd be jaded. You'd be jaded. We'd all be jaded. We'd be like, fuck this. We'd be jaded. Humanity first means you must love their fellow man, so their behaviors need to reflect on humanity first. Their behaviors need to reflect on humanity first. But last week, I did not see a lot of humanity first. I'm just saying. Tim Black is a comedian. I don't like Tim Black. I'm not saying he's a bad guy or a bad person, but his channel, his videos, they do nothing for me. They do nothing for me. I get bored watching it, so I don't watch Tim Black. He just does nothing for me. Izzy, I actually like Kyle Kalinske. I don't know. I do like that Jimmy likes him. Yeah. He I don't know. He doesn't do it for me much anymore either. If LeBron endorsed Yang, that'd be it. That would be it. Yang Daily. Yeah, you guys would be jaded as fuck. If Yang got to in the polls and he was top 3, say it was him, say Bernie's gone, say it's him, Warren and Biden, and they screwed Andrew Yang out of it. And then if Yang ran again, you guys would plow through everyone. Everyone. You would take no kind of shit from anyone. Eddie Griffin endorsed Yang. I dig Eddie Griffin. But LeBron is just so much more relevant than Eddie Griffin at the moment that Kyle does go too far sometimes. But I like him. Like, I mean, I can listen to Kyle Kalinske and I'm not like, ugh. Like, I mean, like, I'm not like, oh, this is bad. Like, I can listen to Kyle Kalinske. There's some channels I listen to and I gotta change it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Thorn Media, Yang or nobody. Exactly. I was okay at first. Then he started attacking Yang for having a difference in opinion over how to implement Medicare for all, even if Bernie was a guarantee. Okay, but listen. I just watched the Kyle Kalinske segment. And you know what he was saying? The way they're treating Yang, the way they're treating Tulsi is unfair and it's fucked up. Kyle Kalinske is pro Bernie all the way to the nth degree. Like, I get that. And he disagrees with Yang's Medicare for all. I've touched this Medicare for all things in so many videos that I'm going to leave it alone now. But they treat Yang, but he disagrees with Yang's Medicare for all, which I'm not surprised. Who supports Yang video? No, Patricia Lynn. I don't think LeBron supports Yang yet. It was saying it would be cool if he did support Yang. Yang is a big basketball fan. If he got support from LeBron James, that's it. That's it. Like, everybody was talking about it. He'd be all over the news. He should be on the news now. He's a guy nobody knew 7 minutes ago. Look how far he's gotten. Look how long he's lasted. The news and news stations should be like, Mind blown. Honest Presley on this page. You catch Bernie's bullies at their worst. See, you better get in line. New age slave masters. AOC put her foot in her mouth. Exactly, Metafly. Exactly. Yep. Izzy Land, who are you referring to? Kyle flip flops a lot. Took unnecessary jabs at Yang and the Yang gang. What act so mature on Twitter, and he should apologize. I don't know. I'm just. I know it's anecdotal. You know, I can only go by what I've seen, but I've seen him when he. You know, I've seen him defend Yang. I know he disagrees with Yang policy wise, but I've seen him defend Yang and Tulsi, and he says, "I like Yang. I like Tulsi." He doesn't want to vote. He doesn't want either of them to be president of the United States. That's obvious. But if he has, you know, taken jabs, you know, at Yang, but like define jabs, like jokingly. I don't care if somebody jokes about another candidate and vice versa. Like, I'm okay with like joking. Kyle likes UBI more than federal jobs guarantee. Kyle has specifically said he doesn't necessarily agree with Yang's version. With UBI, he agree with Yang's version, but he likes UBI. I don't know. I don't know. But the Humanist Report I've seen definitely come at Yang. And I didn't dig that. I covered it on my channel. And trust me, Izzy, if I see Kyle go at him like OD disrespectful, I will cover it and I will come at Kyle's neck. Guarantee. I promise you that. I promise you that. But I just haven't seen it. He's just covering his ass. Good, he should. Because I don't see how anybody, even if you're choosing Bernie Sanders, you can't talk shit about Yang. What the fuck can you say? Like, what can you say about Yang? Kyle also supports to decriminalize opioids. Exactly. He's for Bernie's version of Medicare for all and Bernie's foreign Metafly. You said it exactly. But he doesn't, I've never seen him like dislike Yang. Like he likes Yang. I don't know, Izzy. Like I've seen him like talk up Yang. He just agrees with Bernie's policies more and Bernie's Medicare for all. His version of Medicare for all. Tim Black and Humanist Report are horrendous. Like I made a video on the Humanist Report attacking Yang because it pissed me off. The problem with most media is they pretend to be biased, but they already have. Exactly. And Sass, here's when you go on to channel, you go to my channel, obviously, I like Yang. When you go on to Kyle Kalinske, obviously, he likes Bernie. When you go on to Tim Black, obviously, he likes Bernie. When you go on to these channels, you up front know who they like, right? When you turn on Fox News, when you turn on CNN, when you turn on MSNBC, they will not admit they have a bias. They will pretend they're balanced. They won't admit they have a bias, but they do, and it makes them look so fake. They obviously have a bias. Exactly, Sass. Yep, you said it. He didn't smear him for not having the same Medicare for all for Bernie. He as much as possible. Obviously, that's not the same path Andrew Yang has taken. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a smear, but he vehemently disagrees with Yang's version of Medicare for all. That is factual. Exactly, Sass. If you come out and you tell me who you like and who you're favoring, then I know what I'm getting myself into. If I continue to watch you, I can't be upset when I know who you're in favor of. But when you pretend that you're fair and balanced and then I have to fucks with everybody. I hate that. No, Izzy, Kyle's got extreme bias. He's Bernie or nothing. Like he's got extreme bias for sure. Here's a question: why in the hell would we break up tech companies instead of spreading the gains? It's a good question. Mike, I'm gonna completely honest with you. I barely watch the Young Turks anymore. That's just I've seen some Sank interviews. I've seen Sank talk to Yang and it be fair. And like I feel like Sank Uger likes Yang, but from what I remember, I don't think Anna Kasparian is a Yang fan. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, Sass said it. Yeah, Sank is fair, Anna isn't. Yep. Because I've covered some interviews Sank gave Yang, and he wasn't like hard on him or anything like that. It seemed pretty fair. It was Anna that was being an asshole. Isn't Anna running things right now? Since Sank is running, isn't she like in charge of shit right now? Kyle mocked Yang several times. Is he, man? I don't know. Kyle literally he came out with the video before me and said Andrew Yang had the best debate performance and Andrew Yang had the best closing statement. I mean, I don't know. I've done 2 videos and I know Kyle did 2 videos. One of the videos Kyle did, he said Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang were winners of the debate. And then the last debate, he said Andrew Yang, one of the winners of that debate. So and he gave credit to Yang when Yang spoke about universal basic income and the 10 people, I believe it was 10 people that would win it. He gave props on that. Got in Kamala Harris's and Pete Buttigieg's ass for laughing at Andrew Yang. He literally went all in on them and said, how dare they mock Andrew Yang? He goes, who do these people think they are? They come up with nothing. All they do is talk about what we can't do. Andrew Yang brings something new to the table and you laugh at him. I'm just being completely honest, Izzy. I've seen Kyle defend Yang. I know for a fact he does not like Andrew Yang's Medicare for All policy. I know that for a fact. But I've seen him come to that dude's defense, bro. Yeah, I haven't watched TYT in a long time. I know they were a good introductory kind of thing, like some years ago, for like younger people just getting into politics because of the way it's structured. When Jimmy Dore would go on there and stuff like that, when he was on there, it's completely different now. It's not the same. Senk is a burner, but I know he likes Yang. Strategy. I don't know if he like waited for that Bernie endorsement. Because I know Kyle actually went on TYT and they had a debate back and forth like, yo, you chosen Elizabeth Warren? Anna gone as far as to say she hates his policies. Then she's an idiot. She has to go. How do you hate his policies? So she hates universal basic income? Seriously? How can you hate universal basic income? He's not the first person to come up with that. So do you like she dislikes other people that came up with that? Kyle kind of mocks everything. I wouldn't take it too seriously. Yeah, bro. Like, Cardin is good. Joseph, you remember when Kyle said that? Exactly. Like, I've seen him come to Yang's side. If Bernie Sanders wasn't running, Kyle Kalinske would be voting for Andrew Yang or Tulsi Gabbard to be president of the United States. Hands down. I literally haven't seen him make fun of or shit on Andrew Yang. The only thing I've seen negatively towards Andrew Yang from Kyle Kalinske is Yang's Medicare for All policy. That's if I'm missing something, then I apologize. But that's all I've seen is positive for Yang. I mean, clearly he's Bernie, but I'll be bigger than TYT and Kyle someday. You know what? With you guys supporting me, I hope so. And I need you guys to keep me in fucking check, because I feel like when YouTubers get big, when these channels get big, they start to not give a fuck like what the people say. Like they start to like, because they just don't care. Keep me in check, please. Amen. Yang is in Tao's top 3. Yeah, he likes Yang. He's just Bernie, bro. AOC's UBI argument sounds similar to Anna's first couple of vids regarding Yang in his UBI. Even if they said this, I like Yang's idea for UBI. I think we should do a UBI. Maybe we should implement it differently. Let's switch some things around. But I think Yang's right on UBI. I'd be like, all right, okay, I see that. They like UBI. They like that Yang's doing UBI. Let's just make it a little different. That's one thing. But they are trying to shit on it like it's a Trojan horse. Like, what the hell? That's smear territory. I do think the polls are rigged. Something. Yo, when you forget a guy 15 times, when you forget to put his picture on there 15 times, it's hard to deny that anything's not rigged. Yeah, what happened with that Killer Mike talk? Like, did it just not go through, or did somebody backtrack? You gonna take care of me? I'm gonna hold you to that. Yeah, I think Yang's in his top 3. I think it's Bernie, Tulsi, Yang. She had the cringeworthy attack on UBI. I gotta watch that then. But it's hard for me to watch it because I'm not an Anna Kasparian fan anymore. I feel like she doesn't. I remember him talking at Politicon. I think the question was something along the line of, if Bernie doesn't get it, would he support some other people? I think he said maybe to Elizabeth Warren and something else. But yeah, find the vid. But I did a poll on my channel and I said, if Andrew Yang doesn't make it as a Democratic nominee, would you A, vote for the next person, that makes it, B, vote for Trump, or C, not vote at all, and not vote at all overwhelmingly won. So I can't be too mad that somebody else said they wouldn't vote. Yeah, the Tim Black and Human Rights Report shit is mild compared to what the Fox and MSNBC will do. They are going to go in. Biden's on top of the polls because of the default vote. Bernie needs to be speaking up for Yang and Tulsi more. When these attacks come, I think Bernie should speak up for them. Didn't Tulsi leave her seat? She left her seat because I outweighted to Bernie Sanders. She left. So when speak up, you should be the first to speak up for Tulsi when the smear attack. Why wouldn't he? He should. Some don't like UBI because someone getting $1,000 welfare won't gain. Well, I don't see why does that bother people so much? I don't understand. Why does it have to be stacked? Why can't somebody just choose which one they like more? Oh yes, Killer Mike just didn't show up to meet Dr. Jermaine Johnson. He didn't show. It's a no call, no show. That's fucked up. Exactly, Mike. Biden's just a default vote. When people don't know about politics or not into politics, but they know and are familiar with Joe Biden, they're just going to say Joe Biden. Andy said Yang or bust. See, yeah. When I took that poll, there's plenty of people that said if Yang didn't get through, they wouldn't vote. Exactly, Dave. Anna used to be, like I said, she's not the same anymore. She's changed. Back in the day, even back in the day, she had some cringeworthy stuff, but it was palatable. Not so much anymore. Here's the thing about UBI and like with food stamps. We can increase the UBI over times. Food stamps are pretty much static outside of inflation territory. Exactly. Let's get the $1,000 in and then work on that. If you're making more in food stamps and you don't need 1,000, then keep your food stamps. If you're making less and you want to go to the $1,000, get the $1,000, then do that. But when people say like, "Oh, you need to get rid of it," or like, "Oh, you know," when they try to smear it, it's not. You don't have to get rid of anything. You can keep it if you like it. Yeah, Izzy, she left the DNC in protest of them screwing Bernie. So when they smear Tulsi, Bernie needs to be the first to defend her. And because of how they treated in Bernie in 2016, when they do that to Andrew Yang, Bernie needs to be the first to speak up about it. They left Bernie's face off of the graphics and things too. They rather show an empty podium of him than show him talking. When they do these things to Yang, Bernie needs to speak out about it. He needs to speak up. I would. Knowing that this was done to me, I'm going to speak out about it. UBI is like the Medicare for all of government assistance. Agreed. Is it you have SSI? What's the one that does stack? Is it SSDI? One of them stacks. I covered it. I'm pretty sure it's like SSI. It's not SSID. It's SSDI or something like that. One of them does stack, but you're right. SSI doesn't. What's going on, Chris? Chris, did you get this? No, Monday. Monday. Good looks, Andy. I really appreciate that, brother. I really do. I'll keep it up. I'll keep it up, brother. If Yang doesn't win, we need to tell them if you want our vote, we want UBI. I 100% agree. If hey Chris, Yang Daly ain't a bro. I'm just saying. Yeah, I think we need to say that. Like if Yang doesn't get in, we need UBI. You want our vote? UBI or bust. I am 100% with UBI or bust. People vote in their not in their own best interest all the time, and that's got to stop. Izzy, that I don't know, that whipped cream thing, like Progressive Voice was talking about it. A lot of people were talking about it. And like they were like campaign is doing. I think it'll be forgotten about in like 2 or 3 days, and it'll pass because that's tradition over there. Chris, you're getting the shirt tomorrow, right? Make sure you let me know that you got it. I sent Chris a shirt, a Yang shirt. Yeah, when Hillary smeared Tulsi, Yang and Marianne Williams immediately spoke up for her that same night. Bernie took 3 days before. Exactly. Like he should have been first. He should have been first and called her out. And then Hillary came out saying like, "Oh, Bernie took to endorse me. He hurt my feelings." I hope when Yang gets through, Hillary endorses him same day. She needs to come out and endorse him immediately. Don't take too long, Hillary. Don't take too long. Regular SS Social Security disability, not the supplemental income. Gotcha. Thanks, Alyssa. I appreciate that. Yang, yeah, it stacks on SSDI. I wonder if Yang's willing to make it completely, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe he's, not saying SSI at the moment, and then when it gets through, changes, puts it to SSI, or like gradually, adds it with stuff. Maybe. What's going on, Edward? What's good, brother? They make it seem like he'll lose his candidacy over that. I'm gonna send you a pic with me in the shirt. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do that. That'd be dope. You deserve it. You can stack it on SSI. You just can't have all three: Freedom Dividend, SSI, SSDI. SSDI and not SSI. But if you can choose 2 of the 3, then that's even better. Vote for UBI for your kids and grandkids. Absolutely. Absolutely. People have been talking about this for a long time, and it should just be done. Get it over with. Look out for they want us to work. They want us to work our ass off. Turn fucking, I don't know, 68 is it now? What is it, 68? And then just wither away and die. Like, look out for us. Do something for the people. Edward, I'm hearing he didn't meet up with Killer Mike. That's what I'm hearing. What are you talking about murdering for, Patricia Lynn? What are you talking about? Oh, so it does stack on this side. Yeah, that would definitely help because it's the only income I have right now. She helps to work right now. Yeah, that would help you. So Izzy, you like, when I say this would be a game changer for me, that's one thing. This would be like literally a game changer for you. Immensely, Izzy. Patricia Lynn. Yeah. Talking about Hillary. Yeah, right. There's no fear. She got rid of those feelings a long time ago. Come on. Oh yeah, loan sharks are thriving right now. Oh, if Snoop Dogg stepped up, I'm gonna on Twitter as if my one could you imagine Yang and Snoop Dogg chilling? Like, and seeing that picture just pop up on Twitter, Yang and Snoop Dogg? Izzy, hopefully we can get you that $1,000, man. Sounds like you need it. Like, for real. I wish there was more I can do. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of a toxic environment. But it sounds like you're stuck for the moment. And I'm guessing finances would help with that. Yang, Snoop, and Elon. What a different set of people. You couldn't. Yang dog. Oh God. You know for a fact Snoop Dogg's Yang. That's dope. That's dope. If he came out with that, that would be. And like, I don't even want to say pandering. Like, I'm not even trying to make it like a pandering thing, but like, that would get help with the black vote. That would. It just would. Crosses the gambit. Yang support does. It really does. Yang dog. Mary Queen of Scots. Yeah, she heiress Hillary Clinton. So bad. It was never about us. It was about her. It was all about her. And that's the difference. That's a fundamental difference between these candidates. Some of them are running because they want to be president of the United States. Others are running because they want to fix stuff. That's a fundamental difference. Some of them are running because I want to be president. Others are running because, things are fucked up and I need to fix it. Big difference. Big difference. Get pushed off to the side and told to get a job. Listen, brother. My email, you guys should be able to see my email. If you ever need to talk about some shit, or if it gets like a lot to be on your shoulders, just email me. I'll talk to you because sometimes people just need to vent because we go through stuff and people don't understand just how hard things are for us, and they tell you to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, or they give you ISOs. If you just need to vent at any time, just let me know. I'm always an open ear. I don't know if it's just seeing some people are gonna be like, "Well, I do declare." Yeah, Edward. Venting is very exhausting for me. Yeah, I used to make my own music. Um, actually went on tour and everything. That Pandora, Apple iTunes, Spotify. I was on 93.7. It was like a big thing. Chilled with French Montana. Uh, that got ended abruptly. There are there are days when I'm too tired and numb to vent. What's your like? What do you do that relaxes you? Like, what can you do that relaxes you? That's like your like, you know what I mean? Like some people game, some people, binge watch movies, some people draw. Like what do you do to escape the reality of the situation? The economy's a killer. No problem, Patricia Lynn. Thanks for jumping on. I really, really appreciate it. I always like seeing you pop up. I appreciate the support. I did too a little bit. Got an idea for a song for Yang. I want to run by you sometimes. Yeah, let me know. Like I said, reach out. My email should be there. Like not me. Like I was gonna like splice together a music video, and it was gonna have like a whole bunch of different Yangers in it, and have like Andrew Yang going through like his campaign up to this point. So it was gonna show like Kai, it was gonna show Paget, it was gonna show myself, it was gonna show Tom, it was gonna show Russell, it was gonna show Hustle, it was gonna show a whole bunch of people, and it was gonna be like sort of like an empowering, reinvigorating Yang Gang video. Like I'm still gonna drop myself, Chris. Like, what do you mean? Good night, Joseph. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. I always appreciate the support. Some crossword puzzles, watch Liquid TV, but it's only temporary. I love crossword puzzles. I love crossword puzzles. I'll literally like be up all night doing a crossword puzzle. So what can get you out of your situation, Izzy? Is it financially? Is that what you need to get out of where you're at right now? Would that help immensely? Or is it more of the people you're around? Are you in a toxic environment because of the people, or is it because of finances? Sudoku is pretty lit. Sudoku is lit. You're right. 100% agree. It was awesome going to the Chicago rally. However, I couldn't really enjoy it because I had a hard time charging my phone. Can't really afford to get a new phone. My phone's gone to shit too. And they make the phones to do that. They make them to turn into complete shit. And like the batteries back then, you could like change your batteries. You can't really do that now. They were like $50 to $70 a pop. So like they'd be like, no, you don't want to spend $70 on a battery. Just upgrade your phone. Like they tried to get you in. They tried to make it a revolving circle. Yeah, my phone is shit. And I have to Russell's like you definitely have to live stream that shit. So I hope I hope it's okay. I hope the quality is okay. It's not an iPhone. I got a Droid, an Android. It's both. I use a crossword that's sponsored by Calm and it plays music, which helps a bit. But I get incredibly anxious when I can't solve the puzzles. But at least you can solve the puzzles. Van Jones tweeted today, no matter how you plan to vote, who you plan to vote for, everyone deserves a fair shot in this race. The case that Andrew Yang is facing. Agreed. Van Jones seems like he likes Yang. He seems like he likes Yang. Shout out to Van Jones. Shout out to Van Jones. Democracy. I'm gonna check that out. Calling everyone in the media. Oh, he said he's Yang Gang? Dope. That's good. Good. Everyone in the media and the political establishment to double every effort to ensure basic fairness. Here, John. Van Jones is like the mainstream media cheerleader. And he's got a lot of respect in that in the news field. Like he's been around for a while. People know who he is. He's got like a little bit of pull. So him being on Yang's side for that the mainstream media side is a plus for sure. For sure. More than Van Jones when I see you freaked out way more when you saw Van Jones than when you saw Yang. Are those emojis dancing, Alyssa? CNN is generally pro Yang. It's MSNBC that really fucks him over. Fox News is pro Yang too. Fox News is pro Yang. They fuck with Yang. They're like, finally, a sensible Democrat. Yang affiliated. I hope like when you got a high five from Yang, I went crazy. So between myself and you guys, I'm probably getting an interview from Andrew Yang on New Year's Eve. The people behind the scenes are making that happen. Like I'm definitely going to see Yang, and they're making an interview happen. So I really hope like I'm not like a nervous dumbass. Like I hope I could just get in there and be like, yo, what up? And just be myself. But getting an interview from Yang, I might just be like you, Izzy. Yeah, Tucker Carlson and Chris Wallace, especially Tucker Carlson, they really fuck with Yang. Wolf hates everyone equally, yet loves Yang at heart. Wolf Blitzer, yeah. 1,500 Yangers in attendance at the Chicago one. That's crazy. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll have like a shot or two. I'll have like a shot or two and just be like, calm the nerves. Where's the interview with Kai, PK, and Tom? You mean You mean the one that they won? The interview with Kai, Tom, and Paget with Yang. I actually didn't win that. It was between me, Hustle, and damn, I can't remember the last channel. And it was supposed to be randomized. And Tom picked the three of our channels at random, and yeah, Gilly, I don't, at least at some time this month, I don't know when that pre-recording is. Tom sent me an email about it, but I gotta go and check out when that pre-recording is. Because obviously I'm not even gonna be able to check out the pre-recording, but I know I get to present 2 questions. So I get to give Tom 2 questions from Read My Lips to Ask Yang. So that should be interesting. No, Gilly, it's not out yet. It's supposed to be uploaded this month. If you guys hold on a second. Doing it this way. I don't have to do it this way. I can do it on my phone. I'll give you all the information so you guys know what's up with that. But yeah, I really wanted that interview with Yang. Through StreamMate, but I will get an interview with Yang. So I guess there's a reason for everything. All right, Tom, let's see. All right, so this is officially from Tom from Nurse for Yang about what's happening. So for the Andrew Yang interview, it's already been recorded. They recorded that interview. It was pre-recorded on 12/6. All right, and he hosted it. So I guess I won't be asking 2 questions to Yang. He already hosted it, and it was Kai and Hustle. And obviously, like I said, Tom hosted it. If Kai or Paget couldn't make it, then myself and Mindwave were the replacements. Paget she raised $33,000. Nerds for Yang raised 17, Kai raised 10, Hustle raised 5,000, and I raised 2,000. And so they recorded it on 12/6, and in the email to me, he didn't specify when it drops. In the email, he didn't specify when the he's in Japan right now. I believe I'm pretty sure he's in Japan, so it hasn't dropped yet. But I know it's supposed to drop this month. But they recorded it already. The next big endorsement is supposed to be Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. Me, Gilly, I'm in Connecticut. I am in CT. You'd like to see Denzel Washington endorse Yang. Now we're pulling out the big guns. I'll dare say a Denzel Washington endorsement might even be bigger than a LeBron James endorsement. I think it might. I think Chris Jericho, break the wall down. That was a bad Chris Jericho entrance that I just did. Cody Rhodes, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf should come out with just do it. I think there's a lot of celebrities that wasn't he didn't he get an endorsement for Olivia Wilde? That was dope, but it doesn't like hold a lot of weight. He needs like a big name. Yes, Ramirez. Yes, Denzel would be a crazy endorsement. The stream is lagging. Is it lagging for everyone, or is it just Gilly? Christo, don't go insane. Let's just get him in there. Who should my next interview be with? I know me and Russell are going to have another interview soon. It's lagging for you, Chris? Damn. Damn, it's lagging. I don't know why it's lagging. Checking the email for what Tom was talking about. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna hang it up. It's been 2 hours, just like the last stream. I'm gonna hang it up. It's lagging for some of y'all. It's been 2 hours. YouTube trying to censor us. Exactly. They're like, oh hell no. They talking about Denzel Washington endorsements. Cut his shit. Cut his shit. I gotta upgrade my dial-up, but I like the dial-up noise. Who else still has AOL, right? You guys got AOL too, right? Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. I got another video dropping tomorrow. Make sure you guys check it out. If you haven't already, add me on Twitter. It should be in the description below. I'll type it for you. It's at TheRealBCereus. I'll up anymore. Now I have somebody in my living room like on a bike with wires connected to it. Just I use Netscape. Yo, Netscape was the shit back in the day. I appreciate that, Izzy. All right, guys. I'm signing out because it's looking crazy on my end too. It's been 2 hours. And I'll see you guys soon. I got videos all week, and I'll do another live stream next weekend. All right, y'all. Be safe. Go Yang Gang.